What's going on? Today I'm going to be breaking down this song from the Tonelico 3 original soundtrack. This is a coffee personal request that comes from Corinth. Thank you so much, mate. Boom. Yeah, I do remember this franchise had these artificial languages. Whoa. This really sounds dark. Ooh. Listen to the sustain on those notes. What? Jeez. What's going on? Whoa. This drum sample is just so saturated. Sounds like it's giving clipping, but it's not really. Just so saturated. This vocal line is really good. Ooh, listen to the harmony on those vocals right there. This reminds me so much of the darker side of the UK electronic scene. Go for that! It's changed completely. It actually went back. Yeah, the language is like a mixture in between. I mean, some things in Latin, other things like in Polish or yeah. It's a mix in between European languages and Latin maybe a little bit. Yeah, this is a melting pot of genres. Yeah, this production And the drums, how they are produced, they sound so much like the UK scene of electronic music and rock music. Spitze, den Dest, Phantasmagoria. Yeah, like there's even German, I think. It's a melting pot of all languages. Like, obviously this is an original language, but it's like made from bits and pieces of other ones and inspired by them too. The tubular bells, you can't miss them to use for transitions and accents, dramatic accents. Yeah, this part is so grim. Listen to the distortion of those drum samples. It's crazy. It's like the kick and the snare, super distorted. It's fading out. There it is. Yeah. This song is a melting pot of things, that's for sure. Let's break it down. I think the best word to describe this song is avant-garde or cosmopolitan or something like that, because this song is a melting pot of a lot of things. Like, I hear some different folklore music influence intertwined in this song. Mainly in the way the vocals are performed, but also so many different genres that are stitched together in a way. And this is the reason why I would say, for the purposes of the soundtrack, or if this was released, you know, as a vinyl or something like that, or just put in the internet as an original soundtrack, it sounds stitched together because it basically compromises many different multiple phases of a boss battle. The tempo changes, and that all sort of signals that the song as a whole is not necessarily meant to sound like a flow of things, but more likely different sections that are played in the specific parts of the battle, of the boss battle itself. Now, one thing is for certain, and is that the song is extremely dark. It has parts in which it opens up and releases all that energy, okay, and kind of gives you a semblance of maybe hope a little bit. But then it goes back into the darkness, and it actually resolves that way. It resolves in a very dark tone, which will be, for example, the intro, which is very grim. You know, this is a 100% synthetic song, as far as I could hear. It has an anchor in a minor chord, and I've explained the minor chords before. These minor chords often are used to create sadness or unhappiness, those evoke those kind of emotions in the listener. Chaos, evil, or maybe something less dramatic like melancholy and whatnot. And in some variations, it even goes to diminished chords. So it goes really, really dark in that particular part. And I would say that part in specific sounds like it's like a dungeon synth intro song or something like that. And you hear a lot of soundscaping, and even goes beyond that into kind of noise or power electronics, a territory in which you have these massively distorted synthesizers, either bass or everything that will be layered on top of the bass, to create this really dissonant, heavily distorted sound that almost sounds like a white noise, but even with more low end on it. One final thing that I would like to mention before I jump into the lyrics is that the vocals are so interesting. I really like the way they were performed. But there's something that I will talk about maybe more in depth, which is the folklore element that I was talking about before. And is that in the phrasing of the vocals, in the tonality of them and the rhythmic nature, and also the harmonies themselves, sound very, in some parts they sound very Eastern European. The influence in how they are performed and how they are composed. But in other parts of the song, they mix that, the composer mixed that with a little bit of a Japanese way of singing and performing vocals. So that's why I say, this is a cosmopolitan song, because it merges like different cultures in ways that, are very, I would say, unique to this kind of game of our Tonelico. Let's talk about the lyrics, alright? I think this song is talking about like a supreme being that is going through a very radical, transformative process. Very, very grim also, because for two reasons. There's a part of a song that says, "Lives, my beloved little children lives, the one that I shared myself, my life and my thought, I shall dye myself with your red blood. It is my tears, it is my repentance." So right there, that's a very dark image, This supreme being is like having a dialogue with his children, and it's basically telling them, because at the beginning of the song, it's also saying like it's going to call judgment upon them and whatnot. In this part, it's basically saying like, I'm going to kill you, which is crazy, right? But at the end, it says, "But now the paradise has rotted, the tree of God has withered. I am the cradle, the womb of birth, the bed of demise. Come, return to me." So this final part is very interesting, because it's telling you like this supreme being is the beginning and the end. It's the one that gave birth to them and the one that is going to be their tomb, right? But also it's talking about, obviously, maybe the stage in which this supreme being is. Maybe it is like it's talking like a defense mechanism in a way, or an immunity system in which you have cells that are bad for you, and the immunity system, the whole body just goes and destroy them or something like that, because they were causing harm to the whole system. So it would seem like they were living within this creation of the supreme being or something like that, and eventually the defense mechanism was triggered. Like the supreme being noticed the destruction that the children were doing, and had no other option but to purge them. So I think I'm gonna give this song a beat here. But hey, if you enjoyed this video, check out this other Tonelico breakdown that I did. And if you'd like to support my work further, you can check the support section in the description of this video, where you can find my Patreon and all the other links, right? Thank you very much.